So tell what happened.
If you don't mind, tell that story.
I critique these kid dancers, and apparently I found out later that the kid was devastated. This is the problem. This is the biggest problem I have with my show and critiques and just show business. I don't think kids should be in show business. I don't think it's a healthy place. I don't think kids need to be, this is why it's a topic of this.
I understand what you're saying.
I think it's hard enough to get along in life and to be accepted, but especially on a show like ours where they're going to be up against, and I don't want to lie and say I loved it. I don't think I was particularly harsh with this child, but it's how the kid took it. And we've also seen backstage, there's a lot of stage moms and dads who are put a lot more pressure than the show puts on the child, the parents put on the child. Anyway, the kid was devastated. And then the mother came on later on and let me know how devastated the child was, and because of my words.
Wow.
And that was devastating to me. I don't know what to say. I said, I'm sorry. I had to apologize. And I was, to be honest with you, I was publicly embarrassed because she came on national television and told me that I devastated her child.
With, by the way, Simon fanning that flame a little bit.
He thought, he as friends, he thought it was funny he always thinks it's funny to see me uncomfortable. And,
Good friend.
It kind of is. I get it. Listen, humor always comes out of discomfort.
Yeah, sure.
It always is. So the sense of humor of seeing me squirm and being uncomfortable, he liked that. He didn't like the fact that a child was what it was about, and the child was the center of it, and the child was... Here's the other feeling I have. If your child is devastated by critique or by not doing well or by not getting a part, then I think it is the parent's obligation to say, this is not for you. Acceptance in life is hard enough. This is a business of rejection. You're always going to, and if they can't take that and that's devastating, then that should be taken as a lesson.
But a lot of times a kid will do it for the attention for the parents. I mean, every time Jason and I have done a TV show, and you're casting, and there's a child's role, and you're bringing in a ton of kids, and you're only picking one kid, you see on their face, the parent brings them in or the agent brings them in, and it always bumps me every time, because as I'm watching them do it, they're nervous, they want to be pleased. Again, you said it before, we all walk out of our houses and we want to be loved and we want to look good and all that. Those kids, that's all amped up when you're a teenager or preteen. Judging those kids to do an acting scene always destroys me, because I know only one kid's going to get it. And I know when they walk out and they're not going to get it, what that must be like the rest of the day for them or their life.
And they've got their own they've got their own critique going on in their head, because if they didn't get the part, they're second guessing why they didn't get the part.
Yes.
Their parent is critiquing them.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Which I don't think is healthy.
No.
Here's what you got to do. Here's what you did. I think that a stage parent is probably the most toxic kind of critic that somebody can have in their life.
It can't.
It really is, because it's coming from a parent who I believe, and you can critique me on this, but I believe that as a parent, our job is to be the most supportive, the most coddling, to remove our children from any, we could be a helicopter parent and then maybe do that too much. But in this world, which is tough as it is, I think we have to keep our children away from toxicity, and I think that this business is toxic anyway.
But then there's a balance too, because I think about it, and I said this to Jason, well, think about growing up, and I don't know your childhood, but I'm all over my kids, and I think maybe smothered them too much, because my dad never, as much as I love my dad, he never sat down and said, what are you feeling today? Are you good? He never asked me about emotions and feelings and how I'm doing and what. It was kind of perfunctory. He was busy, I was busy, and it wasn't that they weren't supportive, it just was not feelings and emotions. So today, parents are much more cognitive, aware that their kids are going through stuff.
Yeah, but you have to let them go through stuff.
I was going to say, you can't over-smother a child with affection. You can problem solve for them.